What up, y'all? Man, this Diddy case has completely went off the rails. It has been a roller coaster ride, okay? Ups and downs. In this video, we're going to talk about what happened with juror number 6, who I think is winning the case, and who are the final witnesses that the prosecution will be calling to close the case out. Let's get into it.
Listen, I'm trying to grow my legal page here where I cover all types of cases, so please subscribe if you like these type of videos.
All right, so juror number 6 has been dismissed from this case. He's reportedly a 40-year-old black man, and what happened is they said some days he had been running in a little late in the court, and he told somebody that he's been coming in from Jersey. He's living in Jersey now. Problem is, this is a Southern District of New York case. So if you live in Jersey, you're not supposed to be serving on a case for New York, okay? So the feds was like, hey, judge, get him up out of here. He got to go. So the judge was like, hold on. Let's all get together. Let's pull him to the side. Let's see what's going on. So they was like, all right, juror number 6, where do you live? He's like, well, my baby mama and our child live in Jersey, so some days I'm in Jersey. They're like, okay, so you put in your paperwork that you live in the Bronx. So do you live in the Bronx or do you live in Jersey? He was like, well, I spend some days in the Bronx and some days in Jersey, but I really live in the Bronx, but I be in Jersey. They're like, sir, where do you live? Can you just give us a straight answer? And they kind of went in a circle. So the judge was like, okay, just go sit down. So they had a sidebar with the lawyers and the judge was like, listen, he can't give me a straight answer on a very simple question. He has to go. We got to put him out. And Diddy's team was like, no, this is unfair. This is a black man. If you're taking one of the black male jurors off, this is wrong. It's not right. Prosecution was like, nah, he got to go. He got to go. So I've heard from content creators who's been in the trial. They said this guy seems very pro Diddy. When Diddy's team is presenting information, he's nodding. He's taking down notes more vigorously. He's really invested in the defense's testimony. So the prosecution, they want him gone. But the judge is like, listen, this is very simple. I just need him to answer the question. And he can't answer the question, and that concerns me. So he's out. And Diddy's team is like, no, please think about it. Please don't kick him out. And the judge was like, listen, okay, he's gone, but I will think about it this weekend. I might give him another chance, but technically right now he's gone. Listen, I've been following Judge Juror since he came onto this case. And when he makes a decision, and then says, okay, I think about it, Judge Juror has already made his decision, all right? The man is gone. What he's doing is he's placating Diddy's team to give them a little hope, but by Sunday or Monday, we're going to find out that juror number 6 is most likely gone. And they're going to put an alternate in, and that alternate is most likely going to be a white man. Judge Juror has done this before. He's ruled on things, and then Diddy's team get upset, and he'll say, okay, I'll think about it for the weekend, and then when the weekend up, he come back and be like, nah, I'm going to stick to what I'm saying. So I really don't think he's going to change his mind. I think he's doing what is perceived to be fair. He's saying, let me think about it. But yeah, 6 is up out of there. So right now as it stands, this is the makeup of the jury. And this is including juror number 6. I'm going to keep him in for right now. So there's 12 people, 2 black men, 3 black women, 4 white men, 1 racially ambiguous man. He could either be like Latino, we really don't know what he is, 1 Latino woman, and 1 Asian man. So if juror number 6 is dismissed, that's going to leave this jury with only 1 black man. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if that's a bad thing. You just really never know with jurors. You never know what people is thinking. But Diddy's team, they want juror number 6 to stay there. But we'll see. We'll find out on Monday. Next up, let's talk about the status of the case. Now, this case started out strong, but these past 2 weeks, the prosecution is letting this case slip away. It's starting to get very messy, very sloppy, and when things start to get messy, that creates reasonable doubt. This case probably should have ended with Capricorn Clark. I think by the time you get from Cassie to Capricorn Clark, she has established elements of the RICO. She has testified to witnessing some of the abuse towards Cassie, which can lend itself to force or coercion, which is an element of trafficking. So after Capricorn Clark testified, the case was over to me. I'm like, hey, this a wrap. Bring some people in to talk about the paper trail. Bring some people in to finalize some of this stuff out. But we don't need no more witnesses. They had to wrap the case up. But unfortunately, what they started to do is they brought in Banah, Mia, and Jane Doe, and that's when the bus started going off the tracks. It just fell off the cliff. Banah, who was Cassie's friend, she was the person who said Diddy hung her over a balcony. She told the court this incident happened on a particular date, and Diddy's team was able to prove that Diddy was not in L.A. on this day that you said this event happened, so you're lying. Now, I don't think she's lying. I think she got the dates wrong, but Nicole Westmoreland, fighting the Eddie, backed her in such a corner, it made her look like a liar because she got the date wrong, and it made her seem like a not credible witness. Me personally, I believe that Diddy did hang this girl over the balcony because they do have a text from Cassie from years ago, texting KK, saying, hey, I just heard that Diddy hung my friend over the balcony. He's losing his mind. He's going crazy. Like, what's going on with him? So I believe the event happened. Banah just got the dates wrong. So her credibility was completely out of the window by the time Nicole Westmoreland, tore her apart. She's a great defense attorney. I ain't even gonna flex. She broke down bonds. She broke down Dawn. So, I got to give credit where I got to give credit. Nicole Westmoreland don't be playing. Then they brought Mia, which is victim number 4. She's a personal assistant to Diddy. She testifying a lot about forced labor. Diddy was violent with her. She also accused Diddy of harming her. But when Diddy's lawyer cross-examined her, they found a bunch of Instagram posts, text messages of her saying, I love Diddy. He's the best guy. He's the best boss. We love Diddy. So they're like, listen, you're telling the court this guy did all these horrific things to you, but you're on social media showing him love, saying you care about him, he's cool, he's the best boss. Who does that to a person that harmed him? Are you sure this happened? Now, once again, me personally, I do believe Mia. I believe Diddy did do some wild things to her because it's on par with everybody else. Everybody else is kind of testifying to Diddy having this erratic behavior, being angry, throwing stuff, getting mad. But his lawyers did a great job making her seem like she's just not a credible witness. They painted her as someone who's mad because they got fired from the job, when in reality, she really enjoyed working for him. And I think when you have a jury of people who are 40 plus years old, they probably are going to be sitting back like, yeah, why are you posting all these nice things about him on social media if you claim he harmed you? Now, what Mia did say, she said, listen, I work for Diddy. It was my job to post positive things on social media. Yes, I was going to wish him happy birthday. Yes, I was going to say that he's a great boss. That's all a part of the job. Diddy's lawyer was like, okay, cool. Let's say that was a part of the job. After you left and wasn't working for Diddy any longer, you kept posting these nice positive things about him. You kept texting him. So, once again, why are you texting your abuser if he caused you all this harm? So, I don't think Mia is going to sit well with the jury. I think Diddy's team did a good job of causing a little bit of doubt in her story. Hey, Mia, you dropped the ball, sis. And then comes Jane Doe. Oh, Jane Doe. This is what I'll say. I personally feel like she actually has the stronger trafficking case versus Cassie because it was very evident with Jane Doe that Diddy just wanted her for the free cost. She didn't get to be around his family much. She didn't get to go to red carpets. She didn't get love on Instagram. She really felt like the girl he would call up when he wanted to do one of his wild nights. And he paid her $10,000 a month for it. She really wanted a relationship with him and he was like, nah. I'm paying you 10 racks every month to have these nights with me. To me, that sounds like trafficking. Because you would fly her all around the world, all throughout the United States to do these nights with you and other men, and you were paying her $10,000 a month for it. To me, that sounds like, the pimp and the pro relationship. Sometimes these pros feel like they love their pimps. So, to me, she sounds like she was being trafficked for his own pleasure, for his own leisure. The problem with Jane Doe is she consented to almost all of it. Now, she did have a lot of text messages to Diddy saying things like, I don't like doing this. I feel like I'm just your worker. I don't feel like you love me. So she was more vocal about not wanting to do it. But then she'll be like, but I'll do it. I love you. I'll do it for you. And so the prosecution is like, oh my God. She's on the stand testifying. I love them, so I did it. I didn't want to do it, but I loved them, so I did it. That's very confusing to a jury. So I didn't think she helped the prosecution's case on trafficking at all. I think she completely is going to have that jury confused on what was going on because there's a lot of consent there. And I can't see 12 people agreeing that Diddy trafficked her with so much evidence of her consenting to doing these things. Now, where she did help the prosecution is, I think she solidified the Mann Act, which is flying escorts across state lines. She testified that Diddy had her flying people in from everywhere. She also talked a lot about party favor usage. Diddy giving her party favors. And for y'all that don't know, Diddy has a party favor distribution charge, okay? And that can be considered one of the elements to nail him on RICO because distribution is one of the predicate acts under the RICO statute. Every single person that has hit that stand, almost every single person, the prosecution has said, did Sean Combs give you green or snow or medicine? And almost 90% of people said, yes, he did. So Jane Doe did help with the elements of flying escorts in and out and also the distribution of medicine and party favors. So I think right now in week 5 of this case, since it has completely went off the train tracks, I think Diddy is guilty of the Mann Act, which is flying the escorts across state lines. I think they might actually get him on the RICO charge. But for the trafficking with Cassie and Jane Doe, I think it's either going to be not guilty or a hung jury. That's what I'm calling for right now. Now, last subject. The feds actually rest their case next week. They only have 3 more witnesses, a police officer, a summary witness, and this is interesting, Brendan Paul. So Brendan Paul is Diddy's alleged medicine mule. He holds all the party favors for Diddy, and he's also accused of getting and holding weapons for Diddy in a lawsuit that came out last year from Lil Rod. So Lil Rod was the first person to tell us about Brendan Paul. And a few months later, Diddy and Brendan Paul was at the airport getting ready to board a private jet, and guess what he had in his bag? He had a lot of party favors and medicine in there. And Lil Rod had already told us he's the guy who holds the medicine for Diddy. So, Brendan Paul gets arrested at the airport, charged with the felony, and within a month, his case is closed. I was like, whoa, that's mad funny. I always suspected he would end up working with the feds because if me or you get caught at the airport with a bag full of medicine, hey, we ain't getting no slap on the wrist. Heck no. At the airport with snow and tablets? Nah, bruh. Nah. They essentially gave this man a diversion program and all his felony charges just disappeared. They dropped him. Slap on the wrist. Now, I can see if he got caught with a little grain. But this man had real deal stuff in his bag. Lil Rod already told us he supplies these things for Diddy because, of course, Diddy's not going to hold a medicine bag. He knows it's illegal. He ain't about to get caught with it. So Brandon is the person who goes and gets the medicine and he holds it for Diddy. So the prosecution, they're putting Brendan Paul on the witness stand, and who knows what's going to happen. These last few witnesses the feds have been calling, they ain't been working out too well. They ain't been working out too well at all. So we shall see. But yo, those are some of the updates on the Diddy trial. Leave your comments below. Thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.